Hey there, hi there, ho there. It is once again I, Yash, on the radio with our returning guest, Tiffany. And today we talk about relationships and dating in 2021. Roll the intro, please. Now, as we went over last episode with the relationships and toxicities and the usual red flags and green flags, now, Tiff, how would you define a relationship in general? If we were to just sum everything up in one go, how would you define a relationship to?
Probably just two people being together.
That's
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 the most
that's
simplest
the
term I can give you.
simplest term. Wow. There, this is not a short answer question. Like, so, damn. That's really the shortest answer for a person. God damn. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting an explanation. Caught me off guard there. All right.
No, lah, but if you really want me to give you an answer, it's probably just, in my opinion, just like two people having this connection and they enjoy each other's company and like they make each other happy.
True. And also, don't forget the most important part: being staying there, no matter up or down. Yes, yes, that's very
Oh yeah,
important, no matter what.
yeah. But like, what about you? Like, cause like probably your definition's different than
Mm,
mine.
I'd say it's somewhat on topic because for me, my definition would be, it's still the same. Being there for someone, growing with someone. Actually, that's my definition. Being there for someone, growing with them, not, you know, it's not necessarily all just about good times. There are also bad times. And you have to be there with them throughout and give them all your support, your love, your care. You gotta hand them all of that. Not gonna lie. It's gonna be pretty sad if it's just, if it's just all negative or even all positive. That too can be pretty unassuring.
Yeah.
Now that we're already on topic with all of this, right? Since I talked about positives, right? Let's look at a couple of you know green flags because I mean we did talk about red flags before this. So what about green
Yeah.
flags? In your opinion, what is a green flag?
I guess it's the opposite of a red flag.
Oh wow!
Like,
Once again catching me with the pretty straightforward answers. I see.
but like, yeah, green flags is basically what you want to see uh in a relationship because they're like the good signs and you should follow that instead of red flags, which is the bad signs of relationship, any relationship, being it like platonic or romantic.
Yeah,
So
true. Like any relationship, there's always gonna be green and red flags, and even like we said earlier with the red flags, even green flags vary from person to person. It won't always be the same for
mm,
both, which is pretty, you know, it's pretty understandable since not everyone in the world is the same. Everyone's different individuals, and
yeah,
I feel like one of the biggest green flags for me is good communications. No matter what, it'll always be good communication. Always gotta talk things out.
yeah. I feel that actually communication is really really important. Not just like romantically relation, like in a romantic relationship, but like with anybody in general. Cause like I feel that if you don't really know how to read your mind or what you want, especially in a relationship, and that itself can get really frustrating. It's like you don't tell me what you want, and you expect me to know what you want.
Yeah, agreed. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, even though communication is good, also one more thing which I've learned over the years is communicating too much isn't too good.
Yeah.
Like you can go over like, hey, you can tell them what you want, but don't tell them extensively like what's wrong with them. That's already a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, talking too much is not good either, and not talking is not good either. But like with talking itself, you also, I think one of the other green flags that I would look for especially is a good listener. Because, like, sometimes you just need that person, just to be there for you and just listen to you,
Oh yeah,
you know.
definitely, definitely. Like that. That I can for sure say is a lifesaver in a lot of the occasions. Because, like, high stress situations or losing a loved one, or for instance, like just having a bad day. It's nice to have. It's really nice to have someone there to just sit by you and listen to you.
Yeah,
It's really really nice.
and this both of these like go hand in hand. If you notice, communication and listening, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. Which you can study both of these at IACT. Yes, shameless plug. Thank you. So so back to it. Yeah. What else is a good? What else you think is a good? Is a green flag to you?
I think with this day and age, I think understanding boundaries is one. Like
Oh yeah.
learning to say no, and it's okay to say no, and
Yeah,
knowing when
that I
to
agree with.
stop, and it's okay. They won't be mad at you.
If if they are, then y'all have a little bit more talking to do.
Yeah.
And not just that, but I think one of the bigger things for me, because I'm in college and I have a job on the side every now and then, and I also need time for myself,
Hmm.
right? Is time management and definitely prioritizing what's right and what's important first before hopping too far into the relationship.
Yeah, this is actually a important one as well, because, like, some people can manage their time, like they know when and what to do, they know how to segregate time for themselves, for family, for school, and also putting a time for relationship.
Yeah.
So, like,
But personally, it's kind of tough actually. For me, like trying to find that balance is a little bit tough because if I'm not covered with college and college assignments, it's just constant like work, family, work. Where's the gaming? Okay, gaming I can shove here. And the next thing you know, I get a call from my other half like, okay, maybe I can put game. Maybe I have to put gaming as. Oh wait, never mind. So it's always a jumping game every now and then.
yeah, so, like, I really do like look up to these people who can actually manage their time. So, you
Same
know
here. Same here. Same
because
here.
I can't, I still have trouble managing my time.
Definitely. Like, ah, it's been really, so far, it's been really, really, I'm still trying to find my balance.
Hmm.
I think I found it. I think I have. But, still need to improve myself a little bit.
But then again, like, it comes down to, like, not every relationship has to be perfect, and, like, how what the movies portray, or like what the people post on Instagram. You know, not everything is perfect. A relationship in the end is like, it has its ups, it has its downs, it has its challenges. It all ends up of how you want to look at it
Yeah. Because
and
I think that's big too. Yeah,
achieve.
I really think that's big. Because, man,
Yeah.
one thing which, uh, one thing which I've learned is that, never play around. Yeah. And never just simply just play around just for the sake of Instagram and movies, like, oh, that's what a relationship should be, I'm gonna jump in. Never do that. Like that.
Oh
that
yeah.
just
So
that's just gonna hurt both you and the person involved, because not all of them are gonna be like that. And also, I realize that this is you know not a lot of people understand this, and it has to be said, like, relationships are just, my goodness, how am I gonna say this? it's
it's even
it's
hard for
not
him to say.
it's not what the media portrays it to be. They're just showing you the positive side. They're not showing you what goes on at the back. Oh, there, I said it.
Ah,
Because once you're in a relationship for a while and you look at them when you're in the early stages and everything's good, you're like, I can live like them, yeah. And then next thing you know, once everything goes south again, you're like, I wish I could be like them. Why aren't I like them? What's wrong? And then you start immediately blaming the relationship, which shouldn't be done.
yeah, you shouldn't blame the relationship.
Everyone runs differently. Some people prefer their relationship a little bit more rough and tough versus others prefer a softer other half.
Yeah, true. But then also, I think another green flag worth mentioning, and it's quite obvious, is that they have to be invested in the
Oh
relationship.
yeah.
That's a given. That's a given. I mean, like, why do you want to date someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship, or like it's not even like invested in one?
Yeah,
You know?
I actually, you know what? I can't agree with you more on that because holy hell, like to hear that a lot of people are not really that invested in the relationship just kind of, it kind of sucks a lot of the times. Like
Yeah.
you sit down and you see the people that are just committing to it sometimes just for clout or just you see all sorts of stuff like that, and I can't help but feel really sorry for the people who not for the person who's involved, not just for the other half, but also for the one who's doing it because they don't get what they don't get how big of a mistake they're making.
Yeah. And and also I feel that, in this day and age as well, there's a lot of people, especially with social media, there are a lot of people also, they are more desperate to be in a relationship, if that makes sense, because
Yeah,
of social media. So,
I think it's not just social media. I think it's our generation's time to go through that because from what I heard, right, every every group of people will eventually go through it like where you're desperate for a relationship and you just feel like, why is everyone else getting into it, not me? I feel like we're at our time. It's
yeah.
just the difference is now you can show people on social media that you're going through that time like
Oh, but then also I think what I'm gonna say is I think we're gonna go to the next one where I will explain it further. But also dating trends actually, like this,
Ooh.
as years goes by, if you see the trends of dating, how last time where they said, if you know, there's one it was Chinese Valentine's Day where there's this there's this myth, if I'm saying it wrong, but I think it's somewhat of like, you get an orange and a mandarin orange, and then you like
Okay, I don't.
write the number or something or some sort, and then like you throw it to somebody, and then in hopes that the someone would pick up the orange and call or whatever and meet up. But I don't. I hope I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right.
Oh wow, that's gonna be quite. It's gonna. Oh my god, I can imagine the amount of people that were that just blindly throw oranges full force into the crowd and then look for the person that it hits. They don't look for the person who calls. They look for the person that gets hit.
Oh,
Now that as a PSA for those of you who don't understand, it was a joke. Please do not do that at all. I was joking. Please do not do that.
okay.
Violence with oranges is not good. Orange lives matter too.
Oh yeah, it does. Instead of throwing it and wasting it on the ground, eat it instead.
Eat it, yeah. If you don't want to write your number on it, because that's wasting too, just eat it.
Yeah, just eat it.
And that's really interesting. Never heard of a Chinese Valentine's Day. So this is the first.
Yeah,
Like
it's a.
for me, I've heard one in the Japanese culture in this temple called Kiyomizu-dera.
Mhm.
There's this thing called the love stones, which is stones that are placed like a certain distance apart.
Oh.
Now, people who pray or go there, right? It says that if you close your eyes and you walk and you successfully walk to the other stone, right? Somehow you'll either they'll bump into the person of your destiny,
Oh,
or you'll somehow find them around there.
that's cute.
Now that that was pretty interesting. I actually found this out for a project, and I thought it was pretty cool.
But is that a myth, or do they still practice this in Japan? Like,
Uh some people do. It's not to say a practice. It was just a belief that they had, that some people had, for the stones near the temple, which then the temple became like a huge place for tourists to go to, and some would actually go and do that. Sounded pretty funny and cool.
yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And if you notice, I think like near in Korea, if you know, like they have this place where they buy locks
Mm-hmm.
and then they write their names and then they lock it somewhere and they throw away the key. There's also one.
Uh-huh.
Do you know about it? Like in Korea, like couples they'll buy like love locks and then they'll write their names or wishes and then they'll lock it to a fence or a gate
Mm-hmm.
and then they throw away the key.
So does this mean that the person who finds the key like gets them
Oh
or
no
something?
no no! No, they just throw the key in the river, in the
Oh,
sea.
I've never heard
So
I've
it's
never heard of that before, but that's a waste of a lot of metal.
no, but like that, I think that represents like that their love will be like together and like forever be there kind of
Sealing
thing.
Permanently sealing your cave is permanently
Yeah.
sealing your fate. Sorry, not cave. Oops. But that's actually pretty cool. I've never heard of that one too. That's quite cool. And I feel like in 2021, right, a lot of us are like straying away from the
Oh
older
yeah.
beliefs of, or we have no choice. We really have to, we have to do this, we have to do that. We're not allowed to, see anyone else. We're not allowed to do this, do that. And in 2021, I see a lot of people. It's a lot more open. Like,
Mm.
you got things which are like flings now,
Oh yeah.
and other not so safe ones which are like one night stands and friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Like, those are stuff that I see quite often now, actually. And for me, I haven't tried any of them, and I'm lucky enough not to need to. So
Mm.
like, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I did actually ask someone why, and one reason that they said was mainly commitment. They didn't want to have to commit. Like, what are your views on that, Tiff?
I think also because with their how they live, I think how people live now,
Mm-hmm.
like their daily lives, I think they just don't have the time as well, and like they don't want to put all that effort and energy into something that probably won't last. If it's not the one, and then you just like invest everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it doesn't work out, and then you're like, oh, this is like waste of time, energy, money, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like maybe they are just also at the same time like scared, to fully commit into something that maybe in
Yeah.
the future won't work out.
Yeah, it's true. They don't want to be beat. They don't want to be beat back. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to have that relationship aspect, but sorry to say, they want more of like a. Some people actually want the 18 plus part of it,
Yeah,
you know.
that's the benefits that some of them talk about. But you know, I do see some people wanting, because some of them could have been through the honeymoon phase, as we called it,
Mm,
and not like, okay. So for those of you who don't know, the honeymoon phase is the early phase of the relationship, but everything is still nice and sweet before it
mm,
feels like it goes downhill. It doesn't go
mm.
downhill. You just feel that way. And like, I feel like quite a number of them just want the honeymoon period. And the moment the honeymoon period ends, they feel like, there are problems everywhere, and they begin to see and they begin to worry. And quite a number of them overthink about it, actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's true.
For me, that's my understanding of it. That's why quite a number of people choose to go to other things like friends with benefits, or even flings. That's why they go with it, because they just want to stick with the honeymoon period and not have like any other attachments.
Hmm. I think also they think that it'll be easier. They're like, oh, I can just have someone, and then if I want to have, you know, that the dancing, the
Yeah.
tango. Then they were just like, okay, you want to tango? Okay, come, let's tango. But I think with the case of 2020, 2021 as well, 2 years into the pandemic, more and more people actually are doing long distance relationships as well.
Mm.
Not not just like, here in another country, but a state in a state, or like, in the same district as well. You can't go out. So I think there's more also of like long distance relationships.
Long distance relationship for some people because they can't because they're lazy to leave the house. Yes, I'm calling all of you out. Leave the house. Go look.
But like, what do you think? I think, like, yeah, what do you think? Do you think this statement is true? Like, more and more people are into long distance relationships now?
Mm, not really to me because so far the people that all my close friends and even the outer circles, right? There's not a lot of them. In fact, there's not really a clear definition because you got those who don't mind a long distance relationship because it's understandable and they can, because it's long distance, they have got time for themselves and they've got time for the other half too. They can split it. It's a lot easier when it's all online versus when it's in person. This is just to me,
Mm,
where if they need to come over, your plans are completely different. If they're here and they constantly come over or you constantly go over, it's like scheduling is a little bit different for both.
mm-hmm.
And also because I don't know lah, to me I just see a lot of people who prefer short distance or just a normal relationship.
But I also feel that, like a lot of people um can't do long distance relationships as well. It's because they actually need the thing, like your partner, to be there physically.
Yeah.
They want that connection as well.
Yeah.
Others as well, they can, because they know how, and they are like, how do I say this? Like, I seen this video where there's this thing called attachment styles.
Mm-hmm.
So like, usually those with secure attachment styles, I think those are the ones that are actually more secure. As I mean, yeah, like secure, like in a way of like, um, they're more independent in a way. They know what they want. They know how to have time for themselves. They know how to self love. A balanced person, as compared to the other two, which is fearful of avoidant attachments and anxious attachments as well. So
Hmm.
those are a bit off, if I were to put it. Yeah. But I'm gonna like, I also want to say that, um every relationship, one point in their life, they would have to go long distance. So
Yeah.
like, since you are in a relationship with Brickhoon, in the future, um, you know, so like, would you actually do long distance, and would you think that it will survive or
Hmm.
not? Because not many do survive in long distance.
Let's see. If I was in a relationship with Brick Coon and we were
You
to go
are, you
long
are,
distance,
you are in
yeah.
a relationship with Brickhoon.
Oh no, if Brick Coon hears this, I'm dead. No, if it were long distance, right? To be honest, there's a lot of variables for me. It's not just the basic, a long distance. It has to be like, there has to be like a reason for it for me. Like
Okay,
that's personal.
okay. So let's just say you have to go. You plan to study overseas. You got
Mm-hmm.
a full scholarship, and they pay for you, and you get to go. It's 100% waiver. You're going there to study. They're paying for you. Would you go? And would you risk your relationship that you have now
Oh my
just to go?
goodness. I mean, first of all, if it's actually fully paid for, I mean, you'd be stupid not to go. It'd just be stupid not to go if they're paying for education. I mean, it's expensive. I'm a college student. It's expensive. So I think Brickhoon will understand if I just go abroad just to study.
Mm-hmm.
Really expensive. She'll understand.
Okay. So you would actually risk, like, not to say risk, but you would actually do long distance lah. Like, in a sense where like,
Yeah. personally, yeah, I would do long distance if it came to Brickwood because I know. I mean, her love language is more. Brickwood's love language is more of it's more physical.
Mm.
But honestly, I can trust Brickwood because Brickwood knows how to be a good Brickwood. So I'm
A
not
good
worried at
break.
all.
A good break.
I can trust my Brick. I'm not worried.
uh, oh, what else is there to talk about?
Immediately forget whatever you wanted to talk about because we just mentioned the Brick. Yes, future merch for our podcast is just all bricks with our club's name on it.
Please support us.
Support our bricks, people. Woo! And well, okay. Just one thing which I wanted to ask, but I completely forgot. This I was supposed to ask this the
Mm,
last episode or something like that. How do you
okay.
feel about horoscope compatibility?
Oh, you asked the person who actually believes in horoscopes. Yeah, but to me, I actually feel that horoscopes do play a part because, like, I tend to believe, like, certain horoscopes, they have certain characteristics of how they will react in a certain relationship and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I would just, like, if I have a crush on someone, I would just go up to them and be like, I'll ask, those like kepochi questions of, like, when's your birthday? And then after they will say, for example, oh, my birthday is in April. So I'll be like, oh, okay, if it's April, then I'll be like, April's Aquarius. Then, like, mine is a Gemini. Then I'm like, okay, it's compatible. It can be friends. And then, you know,
So if it's incompatible, you just go like,
sorry, it's not Aquarius.
okay,
Sorry,
goodbye.
it's not Aquarius. April is Aries. Not Aquarius, I'm sorry.
And
It's Aries. Don't come
immediately
for me.
if they're not compatible, you're just gonna go like, okay, bye bye. Is that how it goes?
But no lah. But in reality, this compatibility thing is just like, you want it doesn't really matter because sometimes when they said that, those horoscopes that are not compatible, probably they already been married for like 15 years,
Mm,
you know.
yeah.
So so it actually depends on the person. But for me, I believe in horoscopes and I believe in personality types and I believe in, those like anagrams and like MBTI, 16 personality
Ah,
types kind of thing. So like it does play a part in me finding someone that I like. It doesn't, it's not necessarily a must when you're looking for one.
fair. For me, honestly, it's just purely based on science. If person compatible, yes. If person not compatible, no. Simple. I have a complex caveman brain because I'll have all sorts of complex questions lined up, but the answer will always be one word: yes, no, maybe, I think, how. It'll always be something weird.
That's a lot of words. Okay.
Yeah, my vocabulary surprisingly goes past yes and no. So
But okay, so like moving on, like you did mention like Britcon's love language. So
Mhm.
what do you think about love languages when it comes to relationship? Do you think it helps to
Hmm.
understand how they love and how they give and how they receive love?
For me, I think that's a very psychological trait for me because it's like you're understanding what they want in the relationship, what they are asking for, so you know what to give to them, so they don't feel like okay, I'm not getting enough, I'm not getting what I want. You know how to give it to them, so they feel like
Mhm.
okay, you know what, this person is putting in an effort, trying to give me what I want, trying to show me love the way I want it. So, to me, I feel like personally, yeah, I think it really helps because there are two types. There are multiple types, not two types. Sorry, there are two types that I'm very aware of, which is
Mhm.
physical touch and the other one, which is spending time. What is it? Quality time. Yeah, like to me, I like quality time too. I
Mhm.
have a mixture of almost all the aspects. For me, it's a little bit of quality time, a little bit of physical touch, a little bit of the other stuff here and there.
You don't know.
Yeah, there is one which is gifts, which is materialistic. That I am aware of. I don't know the fourth one.
Oh yeah. So basically, if you search it up,
Mhm.
the love languages quiz, there's a book and a website that lets you test. If you don't know what your love language is, there's actually a website for you to have like a it's like a quiz of series of questions.
I'm gonna take it while we do this podcast. Let's go.
Okay. But yeah, so there's a total of five love languages, and like what Yash said, there was physical touch, there is quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and also words of affirmation. But majority of the people are physical touch, words of affirmation, and also quality time. So these three are the most common ones.
Hmm.
Not to say the other two are not, but like there's some people who like to help around the house and like do certain things for the partner. For example, like after him cooking, then what you would want to do is like I would help with the dishes, for example, or like
Hmm.
he helped me buy groceries, so I would put his clothes and like his clothes and my clothes to wash.
That I mean, that's really sweet.
Yeah, and then when it comes to like receiving gifts, the basic, I express love by giving gifts. Or some people like that's how you're supposed to love me is by you. I may probably word it wrong. I might have worded it weirdly because that sounded like a gold digger, but
I
but
mean, it's true.
I swear it's different.
Everyone has their own goals. It's not necessarily for money.
I swear it's different. Okay, but receiving gifts could be things like handmade anniversary presents. Yeah, mostly just like handmade anniversary presents, like these small nicks and necks. Like those letters could be one. Uh, or buying holiday tickets to I don't know Langkawi, those kind of things.
Oh, so you are very expensive. Not gonna
But like those kind of things, and like physical touch, as just like holding hands,
lie.
hugging, basically physical contact and stuff. And then we go to quality time. Basically, it's just spending time with each other. That's how they would say like it's their most important. Like just being able to spend time with each other doesn't matter what they're doing. They could be doing nothing. They could be playing on their phones respectively, but they're next to each other. That stuff is also bonding. But also moving on, the last one is words of affirmation, which is basically just saying probably just simple things like, I'm proud of you. You did a good job, well done. I know this is really hard for you, but I know you did well. So,
Uh, you gonna make me
for you.
cry. You gonna make me cry, Tiff.
Do you know your result yet?
No,
Well, I was
no,
like,
no. While you were explaining, I was reading. I was like, I kind of like words of affirmation too. Not gonna lie. Mm.
but there's actually um this video that I saw, I've seen is that um the way you determine your love language is what you lack, I think, in your life or something like that. It's something. It's
Ooh,
like psychological. It's like, for
ooh.
example, a person like talks bad about themselves, they self doubt and stuff like that, right? So they will find a partner,
Mhm.
and their love language is words of affirmation because they want someone to tell them that they're proud of you. You get what I mean?
Oh,
You get what I mean?
oh my goodness.
So it's
I'm lacking a lot of things. It seems from my relationship. I'm sorry, Brickun. My foundation isn't as stable as I thought.
okay, but besides that, as we all know, how guys they like find someone attractive, and then like example is this guy saw this girl, they lock eyes, and then they're at the bar, the guy just walks up to them, boom, pickup line. So like what do you think? Are pickup lines actually necessary in getting the girl?
No. Pickup lines are the cheesiest thing you can do. Personally, for me, if I lock eyes with anyone in a bar, I'd immediately look away and continue drinking because I don't like making eye contact with random people. Even if they look good and they look at me, I'm just gonna be like, I made them feel uncomfortable. Please leave me alone. I don't ask the bouncers to kick me out. I'm still having a drink. Leave me be.
Do you know any examples of any like cringy pickup lines that
Yeah,
most guys use?
not cringy pickup lines. I know really cringy instances where you know I've had I had friends in previous years where they found out I'm close to someone famous or
Mm.
someone with a lot of followers, right? Coincidentally, I didn't even know they were famous. I just hang out with them because I grew up with them.
Uh-huh.
And next thing you know, all like a certain group of guys are all like, "Hey, introduce me, Kenna. Introduce me, Kenna." I'm like over there, like, y'all talk about how I'm the guy with the least amount of guts with y'all, yet somehow y'all can't talk to them. And instantly, right? One of them gets the confidence, messages
Uh,
her some really cheesy pickup line. I mean, thank goodness I forgot it because if I remembered it, I'd start crying immediately. It was that bad. So immediately upon sending that, right? I get a message. Who is this person? I'm like, I don't know. Do whatever you want. Instantly, the guy gets blocked.
oh,
she looked at
oh,
she looked at she looked at who follows him or who he follows, the mutuals, and it was me.
uh-huh.
He questioned why they were all following me. The reason they all follow me is because I don't throw cringy pickup lines, nor do I try picking up my friends.
I have one actually. I think um one of the pickup lines. I think if it goes something like if I could rearrange the alphabet, I will put I and you together. Awkward silence.
I'm I'm gonna need to open another bottle for that bottle of my very special beverage. Thank you. Cheers. That was bad.
um, or there was I don't remember. There's like a few, but actually some guys do have really good pickup lines.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm not gonna judge.
personally, um, pickup lines aren't my strongest thing. Every time I'm not really that boring per se, but I'm the densest person IRL. If someone were to be throwing me hints, I'm just gonna be like, ah, nah, nah. There's no way in hell they want. Nah, they're just being friendly. They're just being way too. This is a little bit too close for comfort friendly. Okay, now I'm feeling uncomfortable. What are they trying to tell me? Just say it. Just say it. Maybe that kind of thing. Like if I don't hear it from you, I wouldn't believe it.
Oh, okay. So you're that kind of person. Understand, understand.
Yes, I'm dense for my own defense. Thanks. I don't. I'm tired of going. I'm tired of being out there and being hurt. So thank you. And well, I've been rejected one too many times. So as you can see, I don't like that. And well, speaking of being rejected, my love languages are back.
Ah,
I I appreciate more quality time. However, very close to it is physical touch.
ah,
And words of
okay.
affirmation is extremely close to that too.
But if you notice, right, when it comes to love languages, right, majority of the guys, I'm not saying all, but majority of the guys' love language is physical touch.
I could
Don't
say,
believe me? You guys, listeners, if you are free, go search love language quiz, take the quiz. Majority of the guys will have physical touch in their love
okay,
language. Like,
okay, okay. No, 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 no. Okay, hold on. Not all guys. Not all guys. I
not
am
all
proof of
guys.
it. And
Not
also,
all
I have, and also for some reason, I've met a lot of females whose love language is also physical touch. So
yeah.
don't fight me with that. It's fun discussing all this because instantly I'm like, oh no, I'm being put into a class again. Thank God I took the test in front of them.
if you guys want to know, mine is actually words of affirmation and followed by quality time. So
I enjoy quality time because I was neglected as a child, and I also appreciate words of affirmation because I was neglected as a child.
more of like you are a disappointment. Get away. Get out of my sight.
Ooh, ooh, okay, that one cuts deep. Ouch. Ooh. I'm reporting you on Twitter. I'm reporting you on Twitter. I'm butthurt.
You can't report me on Twitter because I don't have Twitter.
Same, neither do I. So, oh yeah. So, experiences on dating apps. I'm sure I've asked this before, but I just have to ask again. So, tell me anything cheesy that you missed out last time. Anything that you missed out. Anything very specific. You know, not so good ones, really good ones, ones that make you want to delete the app immediately.
Okay, since like my mom is not hearing this, and if she does, I'm sorry. I do play with dating apps, but not anymore. So I when I was on dating apps, especially Tinder has more Malay and English. It's not that I'm opposed of them, but the majority of them they're like Indians and um
I get what you mean.
Malay.
I get what you mean.
So like if you want to talk about Malay, the typical profile will be probably be they have a bike somewhere. The photos are black and white. Some even include them smoking. I don't understand the hype of the pictures of them with a cigarette. To me, it's not cool. I'm sorry. It's just my preference. I I don't like it. And oh, there's also a lot of topless guys. Um, weird shit happening. Their profiles putting a lot of X X X X X X's, including they include their age, height, weight sometimes.
Let's not go
Uh,
into what else they include.
yeah, other things, and then yeah. But what I like in a dating profile, if you ask me,
Mhm.
nice pictures. Usually go for a tip, usually go for guys with pets, so cats, dogs,
Guys,
more
y'all are already successful there.
aesthetic
Mo-
pictures. So like yeah, aesthetic pictures, putting what you love and what you're passionate about, and then also I tend to fall in love with those bios that are very creative and very funny. So there was this one guy that I swiped upon. The way he wrote his bio was the way like how a businessman would promote a product. So his bio stated like um something like blah blah blah, like knows how to cook, loves late night drives and stuff like that. But then like there's a like a how all packaging doesn't include batteries not
yeah.
included, something like that. So his one is it like there's like a 5-star review from mom, something like that. It's very cute.
that's
It's very
that's
cute.
that's very creative. That's very very creative. I actually like that one. I actually like that
Yeah.
one.
So I swiped right on him and then I messaged him. I'm like, oh, do you have a discount on that offer? So I counted that, but sadly he didn't reply me, so it's fine. It's a long time ago. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, it would have been nice to meet this guy. He sounds very interesting.
yeah. But I think you as well, if I'm not mistaken, you also play with dating apps as well, right?
Used to,
Yeah. So
underline used to.
what
My parents too never listen to this podcast. But if you ever find it, yes, that's why there was Tinder installed on my phone. No, it wasn't on accident. I did that myself. I am sorry. I'm also not sorry. I was very lonely. So to be completely honest with you, when I had my Tinder,
Mhm.
It was okay. I had my Tinder for about 6 or 7 months.
Mhm.
No one swiped on it whatsoever. I had no matches whatsoever for 6 months.
Oh.
And then after that I realized I hit two of the criteria that you mentioned that you didn't like. So first off, I'm Indian. second off second off, I had my bike in my profile. It's not my bike, but I had a bike in my profile. To be fair, to be fair, it wasn't a normal kapchai, it was a super bike and I was sitting on one, and I'm sorry to everyone
Oh.
who ran across my profile. I hope you forget about it. It was a disgrace to God and it was a disgrace to me. My profile just elaborated on how boring of a person I could be. It's just like, hit me up, you like anime, just let me know. I like cooking, I like eating, I like going for drives. That's
Yeah,
really about it. I didn't have anything creative. I was just half drunk when I created it, went to sleep
but
immediately.
are you the same with me? Do you look like certain criteria when it comes to a match? Like, is it like
Mm,
a nice picture or nice
for me,
bio?
yeah, there is a criteria. It's a mix of a lot actually. If like first off is the distance, it's where you're located for me
Mhm.
because at the time when I installed Tinder, I wasn't really looking for a long distance relationship because to me I had just started college and I had a job also,
Mm.
which if we were in if we were in two completely different areas, it was going to be a little bit of a headache, like even traveling also.
Mm.
So I took all that into account before I decided because it was my first year in college. And like finally when the ball got rolling, right, and I took a look at a lot of the accounts on Tinder, I found that a lot of them were about generic, like the way they explained themselves and what they were looking for. They always mentioned their Instagram. They always mentioned, their PUBG ID or something like that. So for me, right, I just look for something creative or something different. Someone who didn't plug their Instagram or someone that didn't plug their TikTok.
Uh,
It was different. I mean, that's how I came across Brickcoon actually. I mean,
oh.
that's how I came across Brickcoon. Brickcoon didn't have an account. There was just a Brickcoon there, and I was like, oh, what do you know? A blushing brick. Let's swipe. So yes, long story short, that's how I'm dating a brick right now.
But okay, there's a thing when it comes to guys, especially, but girls are the same as well. Is it like, do you think it's like, oh, I see this picture, it's a very, this guy or this girl, very nice picture, shows off legs, wearing, not revealing clothing, but very nice clothing, makeup on point, very pretty. Okay,
Mm,
I swipe. Guys,
to,
and
to,
then
to
like
be
guys, it's like, strong, or six pack.
honest, I'm thinking about it because in general, I mean, people do look for that one. I mean, you can't get me wrong. Like for me, honestly, I don't understand myself, but personally, I don't really look for that.
Mm.
But a lot of guys and girls I know, a lot of my close friends, they all have like a specific look that they want, a specific body type. Like, they all have their types. Everyone's
Yeah,
got a type.
yeah, true.
I somehow have a type, and that is my
Brick.
type just has to do fully psychological. It's nothing to it's nothing to do with physical. That's why I went with a brick. I
Uh,
cared about psychological and not physical. I found a sentient brick. So, oh, when Brick Kun hears this, she's gonna be so mad.
no, like,
I'm sorry.
it's not gonna be matched. It's not gonna be matched. It's gonna be laughing all the way.
I hope so. I'll let you know, Dave.
Okay, but like, you were talking, right? I think for me, I actually take height to consideration because
What?
yeah, I like tall guys. Yeah. So like I will look for like a guy. I'm like, oh, if he stays there, like I'm 175. Nope.
Isn't 175 tall?
No, I like guys who are like okay lah, 175 still okay lah, but like 178, 179, 180, tall guys, like tall guys.
Oh wow, how judgmental of you. I'm joking, I'm joking.
Eh, but it's basically it's purely just the height, it's nothing else, guys, Your mind don't lari, please,
You know what they say about big guys? Equally big personalities.
Yes,
Get your mind out of the gutter, please.
yes.
I mean, for me, right? Some people do say I have a type. I don't know. I don't believe them because I don't see that at all. But okay, this is gonna be very dangerous for me to mention. But I think tall girls are extremely attractive too. Like
Oh,
I know a lot of guys go for the shorter girls because or
cute,
easy
right?
to yeah, cute, easy to carry. But I think tall girls are really, really, really attractive too.
Oh,
Like it doesn't matter how tall. You could be slightly taller than me, or I could be at your waist. I really think that that's attractive.
wow.
Though also yes, I only mean it that way. I don't mean any other way. Get your mind out of the gutter, please. Thank you, audience.
Those
no,
people must go to jail bonk bonk.
no, 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 not necessarily go to jail. Those people need to seek a higher being. Okay, okay, my friends have officially tuned off. Okay, have a good weekend, Kawans.
But okay, so like with all these relationship talk, right? So like I think there's like one lesson that we actually learned, and like everybody is still learning when it comes to relationships, and they don't really notice, is that relationships actually all come down to communication and also trust.
Yeah, definitely. It all you need to have those two for a relationship to actually work properly. Like, what's the point of having what's the point of having trust without communication?
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
that's what I've learned over the years.
Yeah, and also
You always gotta have both.
not to mention loyalty. Haha.
Hmm. Loyalty is pretty big too. Yeah.
Loyal, yeah, loyalty. Um, so yeah, what you wanted to say, because I think I cut you off.
Nah, you didn't actually cut me off. But yeah, it is true. Like every relationship, right? You always need to have those two. It's very, very important. Like I don't see a lot of relationship getting through with blind loyalty or you know or just pure communication and no loyalty like that. To me, I don't really see that working out at all. Cause like, where's the other half of it?
Yeah, agree.
Oh yeah, wait. I forgot to mention this earlier. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, blind dates.
Ooh, blind dates. I think do people still have blind dates, and do people still have like blind date events and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just this year, college had one for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It was surprisingly funny because I was not expecting it at all. My my best friend in college actually that's how she met her boyfriend. So
oh,
she told me that she'd sign up if I sign up,
wow.
ironically. So I signed up. And next thing we know, right, we were joking for like the 1 month just before it happened. We were joking like, imagine if we got paired. And then the day came around, right? And we were paired. And when I went into the room, because I remember I was on Discord and I was taking a look at the rooms and I'm like, wait a minute. And then when I went in, I'm like, oh shit. My best friend immediately started laughing. And both of us were just having a ball of a time laughing. And then next thing you know, she was just like, okay, we spent about 10 minutes laughing. I'll go and tell one of them. Then I was like, oh, okay. So like, she went to tell one of the advisors, and they had no backup.
Oh no.
So what happened is they pulled one of the team members that was there to oversee the event, to talk to her. And boom,
Oh,
they've been dating for about 6 months now.
oh wow.
It's one of the best things. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard, to be honest. Because I
And
didn't
then,
I didn't know she was seeing anyone. She's keeping it really quiet,
oh, she
and then
didn't.
she didn't tell any of us for a while. And then finally, when she told us, I was like, oh my goodness, serious? How did I not notice?
I actually almost joined that blind date event thing, but I didn't because I was so scared because I don't know who am I gonna be paired with.
the
But
irony, the
yeah,
irony. If you get paired with JJ.
no offense, Gigi. It's not a bad thing. You're a good guy. People will love you. Girls will love you. But uh, but
Sorry, JJ, you're not my type.
yeah. But I think that's the fun aspect of blind dates. It's like you don't know who you're gonna meet.
You don't know who and you don't know when. That's the
Yeah.
best part. Like for me, that was an online blind date. But the one type of blind date I never really saw was the physical one. Actually, like in a restaurant, I've never seen that.
Oh yeah. I've also haven't, but I've like seen and heard stories that if it is a blind date, there's like arranged tables, and then there's like a timer thing that's like
Yeah,
1 minute you switch, 1 minute you switch. But I'm not sure whether that's the actual thing or
that sounds like there's a little bit too many steps
or
there.
it's like there's an event from a certain time to a certain time. Anybody can go if you're interested and you want to mingle. There's like a place where kind of thing, and you eat and you
Mhm.
hang out and stuff like that. But
For me, I never really understood or knew how to find those kind of people to those
mm.
kind of events. Like I never understood or knew that. So I was looking around at first, and eventually I just gave up actually because I was just like, ah, what's the point of all this looking? No one's gonna show up. So eventually I gave up on that
But
idea.
would you, if you weren't dating Brickon, you?
If I weren't dating Brickun, if I actually didn't run into Brickun at all, I didn't even know
Uh-huh.
Brickun at all, or like we hadn't met, I feel like I don't know, maybe I would try it out. Like honestly speaking, I would have
Mm.
tried it out because to me, at the end of the day, I like business. I also do have I also might you might say that I have a little bit of a
Uh,
gambler's mind. It's a thrill of the chase of not knowing who's going to be there or what kind of people you're going to meet. That's what excites me. Meeting different kinds of people. Sometimes you may not get a you may not gain an other half out of it, but you may gain a new best friend, a new close friend. You may gain like a new business partner. You never know. So that's what I really like about it because there's more than to me. It's like there's more than just dating there.
true. I mean, in if worst case scenario you go a blind date, you don't have a partner, but you do have a friend.
Mm.
But if I've seen videos where in Singapore there's this place where it's a cafe or they have like this activity where they mingle and stuff, so they get like ran a few random strangers to go there and have this like blind date activity where they paint themselves but they're faced back to back so they don't know who they are, and they have to describe each other and they have to imagine what they look like. I find it a
Oh
really really fun
wow!
activity.
Oh wow! That sounds really interesting. You see, I like art. I can't paint people at all, so I can't wait to see what. If I would actually go there, that would be really funny. I can't paint a person.
That would be really interesting to see Yash paint. I wonder what kind of thing you can and for that would be.
I used to paint back then, but that was back then. It's not now. And my goodness, if there's anything that was summing this up to, right, ladies and gentlemen, with all the green flags and the red flags and the kinds of dating and all that, one thing which really does begin to show is whether you actually want to do it and whether you have the
Hmm.
confidence to do it. And my advice for all of you is before you get into a relationship for any of that, everyone's going to be flawed, whether you like it or not. There's never going to be
Mm-hmm.
a perfect person. Even you yourself, no matter how hard you try to change, in other people's eyes, you will
Yeah.
also be flawed. And no matter what, you are your own biggest critics. So you will always remain flawed in your mind, like for quite a while. And my biggest advice is before you fall into a relationship, love yourself before you can love someone
Oh
else.
yeah.
that's definitely a big advice I'd give to a lot of our
Yeah,
listeners.
especially now where you depend
Hmm.
on someone to love you when you yourself don't know how to
Yeah,
love yourself. I'm also still learning how to love
you
myself.
don't.
I believe that, everyone is also still learning how to love themselves. You also, yes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, true, true. I am still learning. Like there's no downplaying it. I am still trying to love myself. I don't see why Break Kun loves me. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
But in the end, like if you imagine, what if your partner's not there anymore? Who would love you? They're not gonna be there for you.
Yeah.
Especially even if you're in a relationship, if they're busy, you can't expect them to like cut their things just to be with you because they have their own life, you have your own life. So,
Hmm.
like in the end as well, you should actually really, really learn to love yourself and ex- like, be in a relationship, but don't change because of the relationship. Just be yourself, like how you are when you're alone with that person.
Yeah. That's also true. Like never show them, who you aren't.
Yeah.
Show them who you are. Don't show them who you want. Don't show them what they want to see. Show them who you
Cause
actually are. Because only then will you find someone who actually
yeah,
appreciates you for you.
cause if you've noticed, people say don't search for people, cause then you'll find the wrong people. But when the time
Hmm.
comes, the right people will come.
Yeah, a lot of times, like even for me, it just takes you showing your true
Yeah.
colors to people, and if they don't accept it, well, that's not my problem. Not everyone's going to accept me for who I am, and when I do finally find my group or the people that truly accept me for who I am, it will be
Oh,
amazing.
of
That's
course.
for sure. All right. Well, we're definitely breaching over the time limit for this episode, and unfortunately, I wanted to make it longer because, unfortunately for everyone, this is the final episode for
Yeah.
2021. Sadly, and thank you very much, everyone, for tuning
Much.
in from the beginning in March. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your support, and I hope that you will continue to support us in future
Yeah.
in 2022. Thank you very much for tuning in. This was Yash on the radio,
And Tiffany.
signing out.
Bye.
Have a good year, everyone. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Woohoo!